Sprinkle, sprinkle. Hey, y'all. Y'all, I'm back with another video for you guys. And I asked the members of this channel to suggest some subjects that we could discuss. And the most mentioned subject was how to stop attracting broken men or dusty men. And even if you're leveled up, a lot of these ladies are still attracting dusty men, and they need to realize there could be something that is still attracting these type of men. It's something that you haven't changed yet.
Okay, you have to be the one that they see in their future. Okay, you have to fit into their circles. You have to look the part. You have to act the part. You have to be able to represent him. So if you're not there yet, physically or mentally, then you're probably not going to have a lot of luck landing a long term. Okay, you might not understand what he expects of you, and you might not be used to certain things, or it's going to be hard for you to adjust, and it's going to take work, and blah 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 blah. So it's best to date guys who are wealthy for a while and get to know how things work in their world. What's appropriate, what's not appropriate, what they like, what they don't like, what's how do the wives of their friends act, or their friends' girlfriends, how do they look, how do they act, what kind of things do they do, so study. You got to study how everything is, and then you become that.
If you spent any time on TikTok or YouTube in the last couple of years, you've probably come across her. She goes by sheraseven, long live streams, very direct advice, and that signature phrase she drops at the end of almost every point.
Sprinkle, sprinkle.
On the surface, she's a dating and level up coach who tells women, especially women over 25, to stop dating broke men, stop leading with their emotions, and start treating relationships more strategically. She calls low value men dusties, encourages women to go after providers, and repeatedly tells her audience that men don't love you in the way most people want to believe. They tolerate you, they lust after you. A lot of women find it refreshing, others find it cold, manipulative, or even anti feminist. Now that we have seen what sheraseven actually teaches, the real question becomes, is this advice good for women? On one level, it clearly offers some practical value. A lot of women are frustrated with modern dating because apps feel gamified and disposable. Manipulation has become commonplace and synonymous with modern dating. Dating gurus, pickup artists, and so called coaches have exploded within the last few years, and they have usually been geared towards men. They explain ways to game the system, and through this lens, sheraseven is doing the same, but for women. If women follow what she says, it is very likely that it will work because it breaks us as men down to our worst exploitable parts, in the same way that dating gurus break women down. The ideals espoused by sheraseven give women concrete, short term ways to navigate modern dating without being taken advantage of. For women who want security and a provider dynamic, these tactics can deliver results. It's worth considering that the deeper philosophy behind all of this carries real costs. By framing relationships primarily as strategic extraction, men as resources, and withholding emotional investment, it trains women to approach intimacy with suspicion and calculation. By being this way, it makes genuine trust and vulnerability much harder. Over time, it is very likely that this mindset will crumble. Relationships built on constant positioning and leverage is essentially the same thing that the manosphere does. Interestingly, I find that all of this posturing is rooted in a deep seated fear towards getting our hearts broken. Whether it is a man or a woman, we are trying our best to make sure we do not get hurt in this pursuit of love.
That's what you're saying.
It's like another analogy, more or less. I try to help my girl. I have to think of analogy every day.
Oh, I know. You're very good at it.
I have to think in analogy terms. It's like you meet, if you're an animal, okay, if you're a great white shark.
Okay.
There's a woman great white sharks and there's men great white sharks.
Yeah.
To every other animal, great white sharks are just vicious. No other animal looks at a great white shark and go, uh-oh, here comes the girl version.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Like, a lot of men, okay, we go and try to date within our species. Most male great whites say, oh, wow, they go, a girl, oh, I want her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But women go, I hate the way great whites treat the woman great white. Yeah. So I'm going to now date these penguins or these seals who look at me and they run in fear. And I'm going to catch one and I'm not going to eat it. I'm just going to play around with it and have this particular animal who looks at me with this fear and reverence just go, oh my God, you didn't kill me. Yeah, I didn't kill you. Just because, you know, that's why these gorgeous women date these weak men and they
Right, but aren't they usually doing that just to piss off the great white?
No, they're doing it because they go, I'm not going to sit here and deal with this other great white. So what happens though is they're dating their food, and after a while they go,
they're dating their food.
I fucking hate this guy. I hate what he is. He lets me do anything I want. I talk to him like he's a piece of shit. I spit at him and he just does nothing.
I'm going to eat him.
I'm going to eat him.
In this analogy by the late Patrice O'Neill, an important distinction is drawn. Who is the food in a relationship, and who is the great white shark? Patrice argued that some women deliberately choose weaker men because they fear what a truly strong man represents. In my view, the analogy reflects the broader patriarchal structure in which the sexes have historically operated. Whether that structure can ever be fully escaped is an open question. Since the agricultural revolution, roughly 12,000 years ago, many societies have been organized around male-dominated institutions and power structures. If history demonstrates anything, it is that within this analogy, men have largely occupied the role of the great white, while women have more often been cast in the role of the food.
How are y'all? So we're going to be talking about Dusty's hate standards. Oh my gosh, do they get mad? Is that a trigger? Yes, it is. Dusty's hate standards so much that they will do anything except level up or get their money up. They will do anything except try to meet them standards. They will do anything to bring those standards down to the level that they're at, which is very low. So if you ever run into any grown, able-bodied man that tells you your standards are too high, you're never going to find that, just because they can't reach those standards doesn't mean the next man cannot.
sheraseven's philosophy ultimately feels limited. It gives women tools to navigate the game as it currently exists, but it does not challenge the rules of that game. It treats transactional dynamics as something to optimize rather than something to move beyond. In doing so, it risks keeping women dependent on the very power imbalances it claims to help them manage. The deeper issue is not that sheraseven is telling women to have standards or to value themselves. The problem is that her solution stays inside a framework of suspicion and extraction. It addresses real frustrations in modern dating, but it does so by doubling down on the idea that relationships are primarily about what you can get rather than what you can build together. A more sustainable path would combine the useful parts of her message, such as strong boundaries and high standards, with the capacity for genuine connection and mutual investment. In the end, sheraseven is not offering women a new way forward. She is offering a very old way of surviving inside an old patriarchal system. Whether that is enough depends on what kind of life and relationships you actually want to create. I will say, on a personal note,